Hey everybody and welcome back. I've been using this little Ryobi router table for about 5 years now. When I got into woodworking, it just made sense for me to go out and buy this little thing off the shelf. I thought I didn't have time to build my own router table. I mean, come on. All I needed was some Harbor Freight router bits and I'm good to go. I'm a real woodworker now. This thing is loud, makes tons of sawdust, and is pretty cool. 5 years later, what I've learned along the way about woodworking is that you really don't need all your fingers to be a good woodworker, and buy quality tools when you can. So taking that knowledge to heart, got on Craigslist, looked around for a great router, and I found this. Is the DeWalt 618 router kit with plunge base, fixed base, and edge guide. This will be a serious step up in power and performance for me. With these upgrades, I can finally build this!
Here's my shop-built router table with the new DeWalt fixed base installed. I added a large paddle switch that also powers a second AC plug for a vacuum. I made the adjustable fence after a couple tries with clamps and mounting one end and then pivoting the other with, it just got really complicated. So I went to a simple tried and true method. I looked around the internet and found the Woodsmith router table built with 2x4s. I liked the design, it seemed pretty simple, and the half-lap look didn't look too bad. I just so happened to have a bunch of rough-looking 2x4s taking up space in my shop, so rather than keep tripping over them, I put them to work. Speaking of 2x4s, I really don't like that rounded edge look, so I needed to cut that business off real quick. I'm shooting for a final width of 3 inches, so I didn't really worry about the first cut too much. Going off my mental cut list, I need 8 36-inch pieces for the legs, and I can figure out a good number for the stretchers with what's left over. I'm thinking 25 wide by 20 deep. Sounds pretty good, I guess. With that out of the way, I can focus on cutting some half-laps. Because I have a bunch of these to cut, I'm going to do the layout on one of them and then use stop blocks at the saw. I'm not going to measure every single one. I have like 50 of them to do. The top dado is easy to measure and cut. These are not that big of a deal to do. Just remember what side of the line the blade is cutting and go for it. At this point I was kind of wondering why I didn't put my dado stack in. More on that later. Not too bad, huh? Pretty good for 2x4s. For the half lap near the bottom, I'm going to use a stop block to give me one side of the cut and use a shim against my table saw fence that is exactly the thickness of my saw blade to make the other cut. This will push the blade back, ensuring I have an accurate cut. Here's some assembly with some glue and some screws. Not much to it. I did do some drilling and countersinking just in case I split the 2x4s. You never can be too sure, right? And a nice shot of the back of my head. Whoa, look at that. I think I found out my garage floor is not level. For the top, I used a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that overhung about 2 inches all the way around. I was thinking how I was going to mount the fence and was still a bit unsure what direction I was going to go at this point. To make the surface look better and let the work slide around a bit, I laid down a sheet of 1/8 inch backer board. I think it's made of compressed sawdust or something like that. It's definitely not wood, but it's definitely not cardboard either. I rough cut the white board and glued it down. A little trim routing to clean up the edge and it'll look great. I decided to get fancy and edge the plywood with some maple and red oak strips I had. Just because it's shop furniture doesn't mean it can't look good, right? I'm going to sand that a little bit down later.
What's your help me?
I want to do my own thing.
You do?
I want to do my own thing upstairs.
Well, you can leave them on.
Just like do my own thing upstairs, right?
Yep.
Can I do my own thing upstairs, Ellie?
Okie dokie.
The paddle switch came with a little diagram that was pretty simple to follow. Just a couple of wires, no problem. At the output of the paddle switch, I'm wiring in a 2-plug power strip I found. One plug is for the router, and one plug will be for the dust collector. Here's another one of those where I kind of veered off the plans. I had a basic idea of what type of fence I wanted to make by now, but I still didn't know how I was going to mount it to the actual top. Even though the clamps were really tight, I could still feel the fence kind of pushing away as I was bumping into it. Here's what I'm talking about. A couple of Harbor Freight clamps, some blocks, and some screws. Now the fence ain't going anywhere.